Hey everybody, this is Joe Price. So I have a really interesting farm to showcase in today's video. It's an underworld mob grinder that is combined with a recursive wall of flesh auto farm. Now the wall of flesh auto farm will allow us to grind the wall of flesh over and over and over without any player inputs whatsoever. The wall of flesh is actually a great boss to farm even though it's pre-hard mode because of the emblems that it can drop. So we can drop 4 emblems, and of course we can use any one of these emblems to craft other emblems and other gear that's class specific. But to get all of this stuff on one character would require us to kill many walls of flesh, dozens of them. And of course if we have many characters that we want to outfit, well, we might be there quite a long time trying to kill off enough of these walls of flesh. So let's go check out this farm and we'll talk about how it was put together and how it functions exactly. So this is entry C3 in the teleporter hub. Let's go take a look. Alright, so we start by arriving at this staging area. We end up spawning a bird immediately that will proceed down the length of this track, get killed off at the very end, and activate all of these dart traps along the way. Now these dart traps will fire the darts in staggered fashion, and we'll be using the dart trap batteries to kill off the wall of flesh. We also have a 28-second timer that's activated. Once the timer reaches 0, we'll be teleported right here to the actual kill chamber. Now this kill chamber, it consists of spear traps directly above that continuously fire spears below, killing off these enemies, and of course the lava does some damage as well. So this way we'll be able to collect all of the drops and farm the wall of flesh. Okay, you saw the voodoo demon drop the doll. The wall of flesh knocks us into the pressure plates, teleports us back to the staging area, and yeah, now we just wait until the wall of flesh gets killed off by these dart traps. Now this particular farm has been engineered so that the wall of flesh is actually killed off in this region. Once it gets killed off, it'll drop the goodie bag, and we'll automatically collect the goodie bag. Yeah, it'll be hoiked to us, and we'll be teleported back to the kill chamber. So for this recursive wall of flesh farming to work, we just have to make sure that we don't have any shields equipped or anything else that would prevent knockback, because we actually want one of the hungry from the wall of flesh to knock us into that pressure plate to our immediate right and teleport us out of harm's way. So once we kill off a wall of flesh, we just wait for 2 more things to happen. We'll just wait until the guide spawns in again, and until another voodoo demon spawns in. Now the guide usually spawns in fairly quickly, especially if it's around noontime. And this grinder is at the maximum spawn rate, so we should see voodoo demons appearing quite often. Yeah, so we saw that the guide just spawned in, and now we just wait for another voodoo demon to spawn. So while we wait for that voodoo demon, just quickly talk about other aspects of this grinder. So there's a teleporter here, and all 3 segments have been hammered into these hoik teeth. And along with the rest of the hoik teeth, that's what ejects the mobs into the kill chamber. Now, some of the mobs will escape because of some back teleporting. That really cannot be helped, but that's okay. We'll be able to kill off most of the mobs here, and thus collect their drops. Now, obviously, the lava is going to burn up some of the coins that drop. We don't really care about the coins, though. All right, so there's another voodoo demon that dropped its doll. And once again, we get pushed into the teleporter, and now we wait for this next wall of flesh to be killed off. The next time the wall of flesh is summoned, I'll go into free cam mode, and I'll show you exactly how the wall of flesh moves down this corridor. The bubble blocks here, by the way, they just ensure that when the wall of flesh dies, it doesn't spawn that box to contain all of the items. Alright, so let's go into free cam mode. while we wait for the next guy to spawn, shift it over to the right where the spawn surface is located. Now, the spawn surface here is fairly narrow, but that's because spawns only occur to the left and right of the player position between 62 tiles and 84 tiles. They can also occur above the player up to 45 tiles, which is why we have all this open space directly above the spawn area. Spawns can initiate in midair, and therefore we want to keep the area open. The spawns won't manifest in midair. They'll of course manifest on the ground, but they can initiate in midair. Okay, we saw there that the guides just spawned in, so we're just waiting for the next voodoo demon to spawn, and when it does, like I said, we'll track the wall of flesh movement. So directly below the spawn surface, which the spawn surface itself is just a series of teleporters, we have a dummy ghost that keeps going across this hoik track, and it activates pressure plates that are connected to those teleporters, and this is what is constantly teleporting the mobs into the kill chamber. Now, sometimes the mobs back teleport, like I said, not such a big deal, and there is one mob that cannot be teleported, and that's the bone serpent, but the dart traps here will kill off the bone serpent pretty quickly. So some of the things to mention about this grinder. Oh, here we go, another wall of flesh. So like I said, this time we'll track it. Now, as you can see, the wall of flesh has its eyes within this corridor. The corridor is actually specially designed. It's designed to be 21 tiles high, and that's the minimum needed to compress these eyes. Yeah, so that's how it looks. Okay, we'll exit from free cam mode, and we'll teleport back. Yeah, so we'll just wait for the next guy to spawn in, and for the next voodoo demon to drop its doll. Yeah, so other things that I want to mention about this farm. So we're at the maximum spawn rate, and we achieve that by both placing a water candle and putting down some jungle grass blocks or some temple blocks. We need 80 or more to create the jungle biome. So the jungle biome has one of the highest spawn rates in the underground, and it allows us to actually reach the spawn cap. Okay, you saw there moments ago, another guide spawned in. The guides spawn pretty quickly, and especially if you have a lot of houses in your world. So we can farm a lot of walls of flesh very quickly. During the daytime only, not during the night. Alright, so we'll grind this next wall of flesh. And yeah, during nighttime, NPCs cannot spawn, so we basically have to wait until the day again to resume wall of flesh farming. But in the meantime, we can keep grinding the underworld mobs. Look at that, perfect timing again. Spawns right in the region that we want it to, or gets killed in the region where we want it to be killed. We collect its treasure bag automatically, and here we go again. So just a couple of other things to mention about this farm. So if we look to the left, we see that there's a wall here that blocks the dart traps from proceeding any further. This is necessary to ensure that we don't reach the cap for projectiles in the world. There's a cap of 1,000 projectiles. Once that is reached, we won't be able to spawn any more darts from any of the traps. Yeah, so very important to block those darts, and the wall of flesh actually spawns just to the right of that wall anyways. Next, we have these lava slimes that when they get killed, they release some lava. So there's overflow here that will cause the lava to seep out. And basically, if we again look to the left, as lava accumulates here, it'll start spilling over to the rest of the underworld. Yeah, so that way we can control how much lava is actually present. We need a certain depth to ensure that the dolls actually fall into the lava before the player catches them. Now, if we don't wish to farm the wall of flesh, okay, so here we go again. See how quickly we can spawn the walls of flesh here. So yeah, we'll kill this one off, collect its goodie bag, and then I'll explain. what we can do if we just want to grind the mobs and not grind the wall of flesh itself. And again, this is all done automatically. I'm not controlling the player character in any way. I'm just moving around the camera. Alright, so if we want to stop the wall of flesh farming, we just activate this switch, and it opens up this bottom portion of the grinder, drains all the lava out, so this way the voodoo dolls are not going to drop in any lava. If we want to resume the wall of flesh farming, well, we just close that back up again, and to our good fortune, the lava slimes, they'll just deposit the lava there, and we'll build up that volume of lava once again to be of a sufficient depth to destroy the voodoo dolls. Now you can see that it's building up pretty quickly already. So one last thing that I wanted to mention about this farm. Again, we just engage free cam mode here, go back to the surface. So we can actually put down other surfaces on top of the teleporters so that we can spawn other mobs. If we put down some sort of biome surface, well, we can spawn those biome mobs in addition to the underworld mobs. For instance, if we put down a pearlstone surface, we can grind chaos elementals for the Rod of Discord. Although for chaos elementals to spawn, we actually have to make sure that there is no wall behind the player character. We can put down other surfaces. We can put down an ebonstone surface, jungle surface, and thus farm other mobs as well. And the other thing is that we can farm for souls of light and souls of night, although some of them we won't be able to reach, but we'll be collecting at least those that drop from the enemies that die pretty close to the player. We can of course farm for any of the keys to the chests in the dungeon by putting down enough blocks to create some of the other biomes. Just got to be careful with the hallowed biome, corruption biome, or crimson biome, because they can cause the biomimics to spawn and they will kill us. So just have to avoid that situation. We can also use minions here to kill off these enemies if we don't wish to farm for any spear traps, but spear traps are much more convenient. Alright guys, so if we want to get out of here, we just pull this big lever. It sends us back to our home base, and that's the grinder. And as you saw, it's a pretty ridiculous rate for Wall of Flesh farming during the daytime. We managed to snag 5 treasure bags in a fairly short period of time. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this new farm. You're welcome to try it out for yourself by downloading the world that I'll make available in the description box. This is version 13 of this world for those of you that have downloaded previous versions. And if you wish to actually construct one of these farms for yourself, well, I'll provide schematics and a guide that I'll also link in the description box. Alright guys, so that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.